Hey, my name is Megan Hutchinson, one of the campus pastors at Bayside, Orange County. Do you know the number one rule in public speaking? Actually, there's 3 rules. Do you know them? Number 1, know your audience. Number 2, know your audience. Number 3, you guessed it, know your audience. It is such an important rule for communication. And that's exactly what's happening here in 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Paul is basically saying, know who's around you and who's not around you, and be aware of that. Know your audience. And he begins with a slogan in chapter 10, verse 23, that we've actually heard previously from Paul. And he says, everything is permissible, but not everything is, you know it, beneficial, right? So he's saying, listen, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you're allowed to doesn't mean that you ought to step into it or walk into it. And I was thinking about a friend of mine. Thanksgiving is coming up soon. And around her table, she just told me, this is a pastor friend of mine. She says, I've got my brother coming into town and he struggles with alcoholism and he's been 30 days clean. So is she going to have alcohol at her table? The answer is no. Can she? Yes. Here's the deal. Just because she has the freedom doesn't mean she's going to take the freedom, because she says she needs to be aware of what's going on. And that's exactly what Paul is talking about. Listen, you're about to sit around a table with a bunch of people, probably in your family, maybe some friends, maybe a Friendsgiving, family giving, all that. And I just want to encourage you, as you sit around your table, think about who's there. Think about what comes out of your mouth. Just because you have the freedom to say something, maybe we ought not to say it. Just because you have the freedom to drink something, maybe we ought not drink it. Just because you have the freedom to whatever that might be, maybe we just have to say, who's around me? And how can I be the most effective example of the love of Jesus in who's in front of me? Know your audience, know your audience, know your audience.